Hey guys, what's up? It's MatchPoint here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the one rule you need for solo queuing in Rainbow Six Siege. So if you do find this video useful, consider dropping a like on the video. And if there are any topics that you would like me to cover next, make sure to comment them down below so I know you're interested. If you do end up having any questions about the video, feel free to ask me them when I am live on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, or in the Discord, which is another great place too, and there will be links down below. If you are new around here, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed the video, so let's get on into it. Now, solo queuing in Siege can be extremely hard, and for the majority of the times it is, and this is the same for any game. When you are going to be solo queuing, it's not going to be the greatest experience, but this is when you don't have any knowledge on how to go about it and how to play when solo queuing. Now, I've covered previous guides and tips for solo queuing on the channel, and if you do need a few extra tips, they will be there for you. Now, I'm going to give you this one rule that you always need to be following, and then I'm going to give you a few more details on it, and as well lots of tips and tricks to go ahead. The one rule that you always need to be following when you are going to be solo queuing in Rainbow Six Siege is going to be don't rely on your teammates. Now, you'll begin to understand this concept a little bit more and see how great it is for solo queuing when I explain it. Now, when solo queuing, you really do get a mixed bag of teammates. Sometimes you'll get teammates who don't want to talk at all, there's no coordination. Sometimes you'll get teammates who are toxic. Other times you will get that one-off team where they are speaking and coordinating. Now, you may be thinking, well, MatchPoint, if I get a team who's speaking, coordinating and it's going well, do I still need to not rely on them? And the answer is yes. The fact is, if you've joined a game with random teammates all of a sudden who are speaking, coordinating, which is great by the way, you still need to make sure that you are not relying on them heavily. At the same time, you also need to be playing for yourself. You've got to have a strategy that you're going to get locked down, that you're going to be entering the building from. You need to know your entry point, where you're coming in from, what your general move is, and go from there. Now, you've got to remember there is a very fine line when doing this, when you are going to be solo queuing. What I'm not saying here is that you should be going full lone wolf. You should be fragging out, trying to frag out as many kills as possible, and completely ignoring your team. When I say don't rely on your teammates all the time, what I mean by this is it's great to communicate with them, coordinate, sort out a push, sort out a strategy. However, the line will stop at a point. Let me give you an example to make it a little bit easier for you to understand. If you're going to be solo queuing, you're going to be making a push, and your teammate is droning, and he's going to be droning the room out that you're going to be entering in. Now, he hasn't made a call out to say he's going to drone you in. All he's done is hopped on his drone, and it looks like he's going to be droning out that room. Remember, this is just one example for one situation, so you can apply this concept to many others. Now, this here is when the line stops, and this is when you don't want to be heavily relying on your teammates or teammate. Here, you want to drone for yourself. Drone yourself in so you know you've fully cleared it with your own eyes, and you can see what's really going on, especially if they don't give a call out afterwards, saying that it's clear or not clear. Again, if you're solo queuing, it's random teammates. If they even make that call out that it is going to be clear, I would just be very skeptical and careful when moving into that building. As at the end of the day, you don't know them, you don't know their droning type, you don't know their droning style, if they can drone efficiently and carefully at the same time, you're not too sure. It's best to also give it a quick drone yourself. Now again, obviously I've applied that example, which you can also use for many other situations that happen in the game. You can take that concept, apply it elsewhere, but also it is going to apply to your mentality. The rule does apply there. You shouldn't expect anything from your teammates. You're solo queuing at the end of the day, you're with random players, you don't want to be heavily relying on them and expecting them to pull up and clutch up. It's a hard mentality to get your head around and completely ignore them as if they're uncontrollable variables, as you can't really control what's going to happen with them, as at the end of the day, the game is matching you up with random teammates. Which is why, also as a solo queue player, it's great to always have a backup plan. If a teammate can't really do the technique or the method that's required to get you into somewhere, whatever it is that needs doing, you have a backup method to go for, as you're not going to be heavily relying on your teammates. You're not putting that sole one push on a random teammate to get that job done. When you do begin to put it into perspective, you can really see how you shouldn't be heavily relying on your teammates in the majority of the situations. Now remember, you don't have to go full lone wolf and try and frag out and get as many kills as possible. It's perfectly fine to play support in solo queue, it's a viable option. Now the role that you're going to be playing might determine on how your teammates are looking, whether they're going to be communicating, coordinating, whatever it is that they're going to be using. But whatever mixed bag of teammates you get to, what it really comes down to is your mentality and not having to rely on your teammates. To quickly give you all a recap of what you should be remembering when solo queuing following this rule, I will be just listing the general terms that we've covered. First of all, don't put all of your trust in that teammate, whether it's droning out a room, whether they're going to be trying to open up a certain hard breach for you, Whatever it is, don't heavily rely on them. Remember to A, always have a backup plan, and B, remember that there is a very fine line between this. Throughout many games when solo queuing, you'll really get a mixed bag of teammates, some who want to coordinate, some who simply don't, and others who are going to be toxic. Which is why you really shouldn't expect anything of your teammates. At the end of the day, they are uncontrollable variables. You get what you're given and you move from there. If you set your expectations high for your teammates, what it's going to cause you to do when they don't meet those expectations is cause you to get mad, you're going to rage. Overall, it's going to lead to a lack of a performance in your gameplay, and it's not going to be a good experience. If you do end up having any more questions about solo queuing or anything else in Siege, feel free to come by when I'm live on Twitch and ask me them there on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. If you do need any more solo queuing tips or operator guides, they are all on the channel, and there will be an end screen at the very end of the video with those guides. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you did, or you found this video useful, then make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more tips and tricks like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.